Hi guys, how's it going? Caitlin here, and welcome to my kitchen for another week of meal prep. I hope you're excited for this week because I know I am. If you haven't done this before, you can find the prep list in the description for the video. So there's a couple links there to choose from. And this week we're going to be having everything turkey sandwich, black bean soup, fajita rice bowl, egg Foo Young casserole, and marry me chicken pizza. How does that sound? Awesome. So this is, I've got 3 different levels of prep here. So depending on your level of motivation, if you're in it for just getting a little done, awesome. You're gonna be so much more prepared for the week and you're gonna feel awesome. If you're in with me for the long haul, sweet, let's do it, okay? All right, let's go. So I'm going to start, like many times, I'm actually gonna start with step 3, because step 3 is something that is gonna do itself while I'm doing other things, and that's just time I'm getting back. So I'm actually going to cook up some bacon, which is never a bad thing. I'm gonna cook my bacon in the oven. You could cook it on the stovetop if you wanted to. You could use any method that you feel like. I do like making mine in the oven. I cook it on a stone, and if you actually have like a new stone and you haven't had it seasoned yet, bacon is a perfect way to season it, as long as you're doing like, you know, a bar pan that has a bit of a ridge there. You wouldn't want to do it with like a pizza stone that doesn't have a ridge, because that could get really messy and gross, and I don't want to be responsible for leading you in that direction. So totally not leading you in that direction. But if you have a stone bar pan, they're fantastic to cook bacon on. Nice, crispy. Set the oven to like 400, 425, whatever. Same thing, quicker times. And let it cook till whenever it's your desired level of crispy. Maybe that's 20 minutes, maybe that's 30 minutes. You check once and you'll know for the future. And you'll probably forget, like I do, if we're anything alike. But it always does a good job. And the reason I like doing it with a stone, it doesn't go to burnt. Like, stones just magically make things go from, they make it more crispy instead of, you know, showing off that you completely messed up. I don't like touching raw meat, it's kind of yucky. But those ones, like, those 2 pieces were married, they were committed, they wanted to stay together. And as much as I respect that, not gonna happen. So if you wanted to just cook some of your bacon, you could. I'm just gonna cook the whole batch, because odds are we're gonna find other ways to use it throughout the week. And we have no problems with that in this house. Don't know why. Honestly, hubby's gonna come home and he's probably going to eat half the tray just in a snack. Don't judge me, judge him. So like I said, this will probably take about 20-25 minutes. So probably by the time I'm done prepping everything else, this is just going to be done. And that's convenience. And that's what we're doing this for. Like, we're not prepping because we like spending extra time in the kitchen. We're prepping because we want to be able to control the time that we're spending in the kitchen. And this is what it does. You know you're gonna have to make food anyway. This just lines up your whole week. And you know, that cascades into literally everything else. Because if you're stressed at dinner time, that stress is gonna pour through to other things. And if you're not stressed at dinner time, your evening's gonna be much more relaxing. If your evening's much more relaxing, your sleep is gonna be better. Then when your sleep is better, your tomorrow's gonna be better. So you don't know it, but you're like making your life super easy right now. Good job. Okay. It's not all quite in, you know, one row, but it'll be fine. It's bacon. How can you screw it up? Beautiful. So I have that in the oven. That part is done. I'm just gonna move this and give my hands a quick wash. Because, you know, yuck. And then we'll get set up for starting with level 1, you know, where we could start. So you might already be on level 1 and you might be well ahead of me right now, but that's okay. I'm at peace with that if you are, so. my cutting board is set up to my specifications. Two things that you always want to have when you are a prepper. You want to make sure that you have a cutting board. You want to make sure that you have a nice sharp knife. So if we have both those things, we're way ahead. First thing that we're going to do, we are going to chunk 1 bell pepper, 1 yellow onion, or it could be white, it could be red, whatever, you do you. Jalapeno, and 2 cloves of garlic. And we're going to put those all in a container together. So this is just going to be done nice and rough because it's going in our soup. So it doesn't have to be perfect, which I love. Like imperfection, totally got that covered. Outside part. You know when the outside part of an onion almost looks like it was like aiming to be a peel but wasn't quite? That's where that was. There's onion. It's like the funniest shaped pepper in the world. Maybe not funny because it's not hot, it's just, you know, kind of unfortunate looking. It's okay. Tastes the same, right? So, just give that a quick chunk. So since this is all going in our soup, I'm just putting it all in the same container. So when soup night comes, I'm just gonna take it out and be like, done. Because isn't that just the dream? All right, so, and the garlic, I'm just gonna peel it. I'll show you this. It's a garlic tool, so it does all the things that you might want to do with garlic. It doesn't press it, so if you wanted to press your garlic, you're still going to need a garlic press, but it will, it'll mince it, it'll slice it, you can turn it into a paste, and what's of particular interest to me right now is peeling it. It's got a peeler here, so I just cut off, like, you know, that little, the little woody end. Oops, put it into the wrong thing. Oops, oopsies. There we go, all taken care of. So, cut off that little bit of a woody end on it. And then this is basically just a little thing of silicone, I think. And just give it a roll. And there's the garlic clove. There's the garlic peel. So I'm going to do that again with this one. And it's easier or harder to roll it depending on how roly-poly your garlic is to begin with, because some pieces are roly-polier than other pieces. There we go, but that was roly-poly enough. So then I can just put that in there. And then I'm not fighting with a bunch of little garlic peels, which is lovely. I'm just not sure that's a battle I'm ever gonna win. So there's our veggies ready for our black bean soup. Just saved herself a lot of work that day. Bam. Okay, what is next? So next I am going to slice an onion. So the reason why I say always to have a sharp knife is because you get more precision that way. So even if you're a clumsy person, perhaps especially if you're a clumsy person, you should always have a sharp knife, which seems counterintuitive, but it is not. It will actually keep you from injuring yourself accidentally. Keeps you from, you know, doing that sawing motion back and forth, and that's where the clumsy accidents happen. So we don't want that. Now, if you wanted to, you could slice another pepper right now to go in the fajita bowl as well. I am not doing that. And the reason for that is that when I'm doing the fajita bowl, I actually keep the pepper fresh in it instead of cooking it all together like it's a fajita. And since I'm cooking it fresh to eat then, I want it to have the all of the freshness that it can. So that's just a personal taste thing. Whew. Get the tears out for you. 1 sliced onion. Okay, we're doing awesome. All right. So next, I'm gonna chop some veggies for the egg Foo Young Casserole. There's actually quite a few veggies hidden in there, which is, oh, you know what I forgot? Speaking of tears, I cut up my jalapeno to go in my soup. Sorry, dropped the ball on that one. So I am going to seed it. So I'm just gonna, open up that bad boy. My husband doesn't always love me when I leave seeds in the jalapeno. If you like the heat, you can leave the seeds in. Whatever you do, if you're seeding this now, make sure you're not touching your eyes for a little bit, okay? you will regret that life choice. Once again, if it happens, totally not my fault. Okay. There we go. See, even with a list, it's like I have a knack for being able to forget some of the stuff sometimes, but hey, this is why we do it. We're doing the best we can, right? And if you forget something, you're like, oh crap, that wasn't in my grocery order. It's not the end of the world, like you can get back around to that later. It's fine. We're working on making ourselves little improvements for the week. So we're getting there. Okay, I'm just going to dump my trash can. Now, one veggie that I'm not chopping at the moment is the mushrooms. People say that you should chop your onions like day of when you're using. I don't know why, but I'll trust them. People probably know things. They probably know more things than I do. I guess they can oxidize pretty quick after you cut them, so it might just be a better idea to cut them day of. If you're like, meh, oxidize, schmoxidize, then you could chop those up too. I'm not gonna judge you. All right, what else? We want another pepper. So I just cut along the lines at the bottom of the pepper, and then I can peel the pepper right off. It takes out most of the inner guts of it with it. When you do it that way, there are a million ways to cut a pepper, I am sure, but that's the way I know of, and it seems to work pretty good. So I'm gonna do 3 sticks of celery. Celery is just like one of the best like natural flavorers out there. If you're looking for something that's savory in veggie form, you really can't do it with celery. It's just, it adds a nice flavor. That and the mushrooms with the Foo Young Casserole, it's like adding kind of a little bit of the umami flavor by adding the celery and the mushroom without resorting to any sketchier seasonings. So it's keeping those flavors, but it's doing it naturally, which is nice. Okay. So I'm just going to chop all of these. I'm going to use a food chopper. You could use a food processor if you want to. And you could chop it up as small or as big as you want. smaller I cut it up, the more likely my kids are to eat it. And they actually love this casserole. So I'm calling that a huge win because there's a lot of veggies hidden in there. Flowers back there. My oldest, he's 4, and he's really he's super into getting mommy flowers right now, and I'm super into it. He loves it, and I have 0 complaints. Dog hair. Love my animals, but man, they get everywhere. Go. A lot of chopping, a lot of veggies, and that's all going into one meal. And there's even more veggies on top of that that's going into the meal. So you're getting the bean sprouts on top of that, you're getting the mushrooms on top of that. The Foo Young Casserole, it's a powerhouse of veggies, and it doesn't taste like it at all. So love that recipe. Definitely want that one, nothing else. All right, congratulations guys. We finished level 1. So if you're with me for level 2, come along for the ride. And if you're not, that's okay. I hope you know that you are way ahead. This week is gonna feel so smooth. There's so many dump and go type of meals that are going on there for you right now, and you're saving yourself time and energy and dishes and all of the things. So, but if you're with me, let's start grating some cheese, shall we? So we want a couple cups of pizza cheese. If you wanted to save yourself steps, you could buy already shredded cheese, but usually you're not going to get the best quality of cheeses. Not going to taste quite as good. Probably going to have more ingredients. You got to be more careful with the ingredients, because sometimes flours can be used to keep the cheese from going together, and I don't know, you got to trust your cheese. Just and this is a cheese that we really like. Lactose free, Saputo. It's delicious. So if you're lactose free, highly recommend it. And once you're already in kind of a groove of prepping, it's not so bad. It's like anything else in life. It's the actual sitting down and getting yourself to do it part, that's the hardest part of the whole thing. So. And I've like almost used this whole block. There's just this little teensy tiny bit here. So I'm just gonna shred up the rest of it, and I am very sure that it could go on the pizza. It would be fine. Nobody's gonna be harmed by having a little extra cheese on their pizza. Or somebody's gonna have it for a snack, because already grated cheese just seems to be a delicacy and magically disappears. Or you can use it in other recipes, on salads, whatever. Like it's convenient, right? It's there, and I'm not gonna complain, because it's not a bad snack for them. They could be snacking on things that are much worse. So, got my cheese there, a little extra, which is a-okay. Oh, my little container here, it has little measurements on the side, which is kind of handy. Cheese. Cheese, like I'm having my picture taken. Cheese. Okay. Next, I'm going to shred up some Parmesan cheese. So looking for, put a quarter cup. You could do a little more, a little less. Once again, you could get your Parmesan cheese already shredded if you want to. That will save you time. It is there. But it's one of those things, if I'm already here and I'm already doing the things, well, might as well just do the thing. Because it's generally a nicer Parmesan that you're gonna get, that you're gonna grate too. I'm gonna say that's probably, yeah, we're looking pretty good there, I'd say. You could do more, you could do less, all depends. And if you think you might use it for something else this week, just do up a little extra while you're here. There we go, parm is done. Last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up some sun-dried tomatoes. Probably like my least favorite, one of my least favorite things to do. I'm just not a, kind of hard to cut up. So I'm happy to have this out of the way. Like, getting things done that you're happy to have out of the way is kind of a huge perk. So we're gonna say that's good. You could eyeball it if you want to. I'm not a, some people are awesome at eyeballing. I'm not the awesome eyeballer. Measuring cups, they were made for me. Measuring cups of all shapes and sizes. All of them were made with me in mind. As were kitchen gadgets. Like, I really do try, I'm trying to set you up for success with your meal plan. Even if you have a modified diet, or maybe you're just doing this for sheer convenience and you're adding the gluten back in, and that's fine. But none of these recipes are hard. None of them take a lot of skill or attention. Like, I really want you to be able to accomplish everything that you want to with this, if that makes sense. All right, so I'm doing nothing of real precision here. I'm just chopping them one way and then chopping them the other. This will be for the pizza, which I'm excited for. Hate chopping sun-dried tomatoes. Love eating sun-dried tomatoes on things. Like, that little burst of the flavor is stinking good. But I don't understand why they come in such big pieces. Like, do people just eat big honking pieces of sun-dried tomato? Is this a thing that I'm missing out on? Because I'm not looking at that and figuring I'm gonna put it in anything, right? Like, now I'm curious to actually like try taking a bite of it and see how pleasant or unpleasant it is, but I really think I'd regret that. Okay. Oh yeah, so every time my little guy goes to the grocery store now, he always gets really excited. He'll be there with his dad and he'll just, can we get mommy some flowers? And it's anytime I'm not there, I know he's gonna come home, I know he's gonna be really excited. It's adorable. And he was very excited this time since they were multicolored roses. You know, roses are special. Okay, so there we go. Little jar of sun-dried tomatoes there. And the very last thing that I am going to do is we're gonna put together the dry ingredients for pizza crust, right? If you are planning on doubling this, you can double it. If you're using a different recipe, you can go with that recipe. I'm going with my recipe, which is on the website, or it's included in this meal plan as well. And I'm gonna double it because we will generally make 2 pizzas. If you were happening to, you know, serve your pizza with something else, maybe you serve your pizza with a side salad, something like that, then maybe you're just doing a single large pizza. But we also like to be able to plan on having leftovers when it's pizza night, because, well, it's pizza and pizza's delicious. Leftover pizza will never go to waste. And I will say that this recipe, it actually does, like, it heats up very well. The kids, they eat all their leftovers cold. It's, I think, just kind of a, must be kind of a phase that kids go through or something like that. I don't know, but they eat it all cold. It's weird, they do them. But I will heat mine up in the air fryer, and it always heats up really well the next day. So, never worried about leftovers. Okay, so I put in all-purpose gluten-free flour. Now I'm gonna put in some potato starch. Potato starch actually just, it makes it really soft. It makes the crust kind of soft and pillowy and just delicious. Like, it still holds together. It just has a really nice soft texture. Okay. Now we're gonna put in yeast. If you want to put it in the fridge after, you can. Your yeast is not going to die between now and when you make your pizza. So if you want to just leave it on the counter, you could do that too. Whatever makes you feel more comfortable and confident and happy with your pizza is the right choice. But if you leave it out, you'll be fine. Put some sugar in there. I'm sure that you could put, you know, maple syrup or something if you'd rather do a healthier sugar choice, but sugar's to feed our friend the yeast there. And then I'm gonna put some salt in it. And it's funny what a difference it makes just having the dry ingredients together. Like, you don't have to have the whole thing together, but that just negated the need for me to buy 2 things of a mix, right? Like, that would have been me buying 2 mixes, probably 3 or 4 gluten-free pre-made crusts, and it's done in there for probably half or quarter of the price. Like, it's impressive. And then the day of, I'm just gonna dump that into the stand mixer and it's gonna be good to go. So it's definitely saving time, but saving money there. Maximum efficiency. And guys, I think that's looking pretty good. Tray full of bacon. There we go. Now, while you're in a groove and all, if you want to go through your fridge, just go to your fridge, see what needs to be used up. Look at the meal plan and think, how can I use this vegetable or that? And if you can use it this week, incorporate it into your recipes. If you can't, use it as a side dish or in any of the recipes. Process it now, put it in a bag, freeze it, label it, and next time the meal plan's calling for that vegetable or ingredient, you know where to pull it out from and it'll be ready to go for you. And in that way, you're going to reduce waste, save yourself some money, and while you're in a groove, might as well do it now. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this week. I'd love to hear what recipes you're excited about or if there's anything that you would like to see. So reach out, let me know, enjoy your week, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.